Repetition is something all humans experience in life. When we look closely, we see it everywhere. Every morning, we wake up, brush our teeth, eat breakfast, and start our day. Many of us follow these same routines, almost without thinking. But have you ever wondered why? Why do we do the same things, again and again, even when we know the outcome? The answer can be found deep within the human mind and spirit. In our busy world, so many things change quickly. News, messages, and information come and go, sometimes too fast to understand. In this fast-moving life, repetition can be like an anchor. It gives us something to hold on to, something that does not change. When we repeat actions, words, or thoughts, they become familiar and safe. It is like walking on a path you know well. There is comfort in each step. But repetition is not just about safety. There is also a gentle power in doing something again and again. When you practice a skill, whether it is cooking, playing music, or even simple breathing, repetition helps you improve. With each try, you become more comfortable, more confident. The same thing happens with the mind. Repeating actions or phrases can help bring order to thoughts and emotions. It is not about escaping from life, but about making space for calm inside ourselves. Sometimes people think repetition is boring or useless, but in truth, it is a deep part of our nature. Since ancient times, people have used repetition in songs, prayers, and daily tasks to connect with something greater. It is not just a habit. It is a doorway to peace and healing, waiting for us to walk through. If you pay close attention, you will notice that repetition is a natural part of everyday life. From the time we wake up to the time we go to sleep, much of what we do is shaped by habits and routines. These are not just personal choices, but are also shaped by our families, cultures, and the places where we live. For example, think about the way people greet each other. In some countries, a simple good morning is repeated every day, whether it is at home or with a neighbor on the street. Children learn to say thank you and please, repeating these words as part of their daily lives. Over time, these repeated actions and words become a natural part of who we are. Even our bodies work with repetition. Our hearts beat in a steady rhythm. We breathe in and out, and our feet walk step after step. At first, some of these repeated actions may seem small or unimportant, but over time, they help create a feeling of stability and trust in the world. When life feels uncertain, small routines, like making tea in the morning or saying a prayer before bed, can bring comfort. These actions remind us that even in times of change, there are things that stay the same. Repetition also shapes our relationships with others. Sharing regular meals, talking with friends, or spending time with family each day helps build connections. When we do these things over and over, we show care and love in simple ways. In this way, repetition is not just something we do alone. It helps us belong to a community and reminds us that we are not alone on our path. Repetition is not only a part of modern life, its roots go back thousands of years across many cultures and traditions. When we look at ancient societies, we see that repetition was often at the center of daily life. People created rituals and ceremonies that used repeated words, movements, or music. These practices were not just for individuals, but often brought communities together. In old times, farmers watched the seasons come and go, planting and harvesting in the same way year after year. Hunters followed the same paths and used the same tools, learning from their elders by repeating the same actions. Craftsmen and artists, too, learned their skills through long practice, doing things over and over until their hands and minds understood without thinking. Through repetition, knowledge and wisdom were passed from one generation to the next. Religious and spiritual traditions around the world also used repetition as a way to connect with the sacred. Whether in temples, churches, or shrines, people repeated prayers, songs, and rituals. In Japan, for example, the ringing of a bell, the lighting of incense, or the simple act of bowing are repeated in many Buddhist ceremonies. These actions are not just about tradition. They help create a peaceful space inside and outside ourselves. The power of these ancient practices comes from their regularity. By returning to the same words, actions, or music again and again, people find meaning and strength. Repetition becomes a way to touch something deeper, something lasting. Even today, when we repeat a simple action, we connect with this long history. We remind ourselves that we are part of something greater than our own daily worries. In this way, repetition links us to the wisdom and peace of the past. One of the simplest forms of repetition is found in our own bodies. If you pay attention, you will notice the gentle rhythm of your breathing, air coming in and then going out, over and over. It happens naturally, whether we think about it or not. Our steps are much the same. When we walk, each step follows the last in a steady, familiar way. These basic rhythms are with us every moment of our lives. This gentle repetition has a quiet power. When life feels stressful or noisy, just listening to your own breath can bring a sense of calm. There is comfort in knowing that, no matter what is happening in the world, your breath continues, steady and reliable. In the same way, the simple act of walking, left foot, right foot, again and again, can help us feel grounded and present in the moment. Many people find peace in returning to these natural patterns. Some take a walk outside when their mind is busy, letting the regular sound of their footsteps bring them back to themselves. Others take a few slow, deep breaths to find a moment of quiet. These actions are small, but their effect can be great. The gentle rhythm of breathing and steps helps us remember that we are alive, here and now. Even though these actions seem simple, their repetition can support us in difficult times. They do not require any special skill or equipment, only our attention. Each breath and each step is like a friend, always there to help us when we need it. By noticing these rhythms, we discover a source of peace that is always close, waiting for us to remember it. Our minds can often feel busy or full of noise. Worries, memories, and plans for the future can come and go, sometimes making it hard to feel at ease. In these moments, repetition can be a gentle way to calm the mind. When we do something over and over, it helps create a sense of order in the middle of chaos. Simple repeated actions, like folding laundry or washing dishes, can have a soothing effect. Each movement is familiar, and because we know what to expect, our minds can begin to settle. The focus shifts away from the worries in our heads and onto the gentle flow of the activity. Even something as ordinary as stirring a cup of tea or arranging objects on a table can give our thoughts a place to rest. In the same way, repeating words or phrases, such as a poem, a song, or even counting numbers, can help quiet the mind. The sound of the words becomes like a soft background music, making it easier to let go of stressful thoughts. It is not about escaping from problems, but about giving our minds a safe space to relax for a while. The power of repetition lies in its simplicity. There is nothing complicated to remember, nothing to figure out. Just the same action or sound, again and again. With each repetition, the mind learns to let go of some of its tension. Many people find that, after a period of repeated activity, they feel lighter and more peaceful. Repetition is a natural tool we all have, always available to help us calm our minds. By returning to familiar actions or words, we give ourselves a gentle way to find peace, even on difficult days. Many people at different times in their lives search for a feeling of safety. This feeling is important, especially when we face changes, uncertainty, or loss. One quiet way to find safety is through repetition. Doing something familiar again and again can become a safe place in our hearts and minds. Think about a child who wants to hear the same bedtime story every night. Even if they already know the ending, the routine helps them feel secure. The story never changes, and in that sameness, they find comfort. Adults, too, often turn to repeated actions when life feels difficult. Drinking tea in the same cup, walking the same path, or listening to a favorite song can bring a sense of order and calm. Repetition can also help when we feel lost or overwhelmed. Life can sometimes be confusing or unpredictable. When this happens, familiar routines can remind us that not everything is changing. Even small repeated actions, such as making the bed each morning or lighting a candle at night, can bring us back to a feeling of safety. This sense of safety is not about hiding from life, but about having something to hold on to when the world seems too big or too fast. Repetition gives us a simple structure that helps us face new challenges. It tells us, in a gentle way, that we are not alone, and that there is something stable we can return to whenever we need it. In this way, repetition is more than just a habit. It is a shelter we build for ourselves, one small action at a time. When life becomes stormy, the familiar rhythm of repeated actions helps us feel steady and safe, no matter what is happening around us. Rituals are special kinds of repetition. They are actions or ceremonies that people perform in the same way, often for many years or even generations. All around the world, people have created rituals to mark important moments, such as births, weddings, and farewells. Even in daily life, small rituals help guide us through our routines and connect us with others. What makes a ritual different from an ordinary habit is the meaning we give to it. Lighting a candle, bowing, or ringing a bell are simple acts, but when done with intention, they become powerful. Rituals help us remember what is important. They create a space where we can pause, reflect, and feel connected to ourselves, to our families, and to the larger world. Many rituals use repetition to create a sense of order and peace. For example, in Japanese temples, monks may chant the same phrases each day, or perform the same movements during ceremonies. These repeated actions help everyone know what to do, and they create a peaceful rhythm. Even people who do not understand the language or the details of the ritual can feel its calming effect. In everyday life, people create their own rituals. A morning cup of tea, a short prayer before meals, or saying goodnight to loved ones can all become small rituals. They help us feel rooted, especially during times of change or loss. Rituals remind us that, even when life feels uncertain, there are things we can trust and return to. In this way, ritual is a form of repetition that brings meaning and comfort. It helps us mark the important parts of our lives and gives us a gentle anchor in the flow of time. Through ritual, we find both stability and a sense of belonging in the world. Life can bring moments of pain, sadness, or confusion. At such times, it is not always easy to find comfort. However, repetition can quietly support us as we heal from emotional wounds. By repeating gentle actions or words, we give ourselves a chance to process our feelings and slowly find peace again. When people experience loss or disappointment, they may find themselves returning to simple, familiar routines. Drinking tea at the same time each day, sitting in a favorite chair, or walking the same path can offer a small sense of control. These repeated actions do not erase pain, but they create a safe space where healing can begin. The mind and heart which may feel broken or tired, find some rest in things that do not change. Some people also find comfort in repeating kind words to themselves or looking at the same photo or object each day. These gentle acts can remind us of happy memories or of people who have loved us. In this way, repetition helps to hold the heart steady during times of grief or worry. The slow, steady return to the same action can be like a gentle hand, guiding us through difficult days. Emotional healing often takes time, and there is no need to rush. With each repeated action, we tell ourselves that it is okay to feel what we feel. We give ourselves permission to heal at our own pace. Over time, these small acts of repetition help us to rebuild trust in life and in ourselves. Repetition is not a quick solution, but it is a steady and reliable friend during hard times. With each return to familiar routines, we slowly rediscover hope and strength, even after deep sadness or pain. Our bodies hold many memories, both happy and painful. Sometimes, when we feel stress or sadness, it is not only in our minds, but also in our bodies. Our shoulders become tense, our stomachs tighten, or our hands shake. In these moments, repeated movement can help us find relief and healing. Simple movements, done again and again, have a quiet power. For example, gentle stretching each morning, or walking in a familiar place, can help us release tension and feel more comfortable in our own skin. These repeated actions remind the body that it is safe. Even something as small as tapping your fingers or swaying back and forth can bring calm to both body and mind. Traditional practices, like bowing or making a certain gesture, use repetition to help us feel connected and grounded. In Japan, monks often bow or perform ritual movements as part of their daily practice. These movements are slow and steady, and over time, they bring peace not only to the mind, but also to the body. The body learns to relax and trust these gentle patterns. When we move in a regular, repeated way, we give our bodies a chance to reset. The mind might be busy, but the body remembers the comfort of these familiar actions. Over time, the connection between mind and body grows stronger, and healing becomes possible. Even when words are hard to find, movement can express what we feel inside. In this way, repetition through movement is a simple but powerful tool for healing. Each repeated action tells the body, "You are safe now." With patience and care, we can use movement to heal old wounds and create new feelings of comfort and peace. Words have always held a special place in human life. When spoken out loud, repeated words or chants can have a powerful effect on our hearts and minds. For thousands of years, people around the world have used simple phrases, songs, and chants as part of their daily lives or spiritual practices. These repeated sounds carry more than just meaning. They can bring peace, strength, or even healing. When we repeat the same words, their rhythm and sound can help us focus and feel calm. For example, some people softly say a phrase or name many times in a row when they are feeling worried. The steady pattern of the words becomes like a gentle wave, washing away confusion and fear. This is true not just in religious settings, but in everyday life as well. Many people find comfort in singing the same song when they feel sad, or repeating encouraging words to themselves in difficult moments. Chanting is a form of repetition that uses both sound and breath. In temples, monks may chant lines from ancient texts over and over, filling the space with peaceful sounds. These chants are not only for the mind, they also create a sense of unity among those who take part, connecting each person to the group and to something greater than themselves. The repeated words help everyone feel steady, even when the world outside is uncertain. Even in simple daily life, repeating kind or hopeful words, can change our mood. The words might be simple, but their effect grows with each repetition. Over time, these repeated sounds can help us feel stronger, more balanced, and more at peace. Words, when spoken with care and intention, become more than just sounds. They become a gentle power that supports us through life's challenges. While repetition often brings comfort and healing, it is important to remember that not all repeated actions are helpful. Sometimes, repetition can become a trap that keeps us stuck in unhealthy patterns. When we repeat the same thoughts, words, or actions that cause us pain or limit our growth, repetition loses its gentle power and can even create suffering. For example, negative thinking often follows a pattern. If we tell ourselves the same worrying thoughts again and again, these thoughts can begin to feel true, even if they are not. The mind learns these patterns just as easily as it learns helpful routines. In the same way, harmful habits or addictions often involve repeated actions that are hard to break. At first, these habits may feel safe or familiar, but over time, they can take away our sense of freedom. Recognizing when repetition is helping us and when it is holding us back is an important step in personal growth. If we notice that a repeated action or thought brings us sadness, anger, or fear, we can pause and gently ask ourselves why we continue it. Sometimes, a small change in our daily routine or in the words we say to ourselves can open the door to a new and healthier pattern. Breaking free from unhelpful repetition is not always easy, but it is possible. It often takes courage to try something new, even if the change is small. By choosing new actions or words, we begin to build fresh paths for our minds and bodies. In this way, we can use the power of repetition not just to feel safe, but also to grow and heal. Repetition is a tool, and with awareness, we can choose to use it in ways that bring light and peace into our lives. In today's world, life can sometimes feel very complicated. There are so many choices, distractions, and demands for our attention. When we feel overwhelmed, repetition can guide us back to a place of simplicity. By returning to small, repeated actions, we remember what is truly important and let go of what is not. Simple routines, like making the bed each morning or enjoying a quiet meal, are easy to overlook. Yet these small actions can help clear our minds. When we do the same gentle task every day, we don't need to think too much or make difficult decisions. Our minds can rest. The repetition of simple acts brings a gentle order to our days and reminds us that life does not have to be complicated to be meaningful. Many people find peace in repeating a basic activity, such as walking outside, watering plants, or cleaning a small space. These moments allow us to slow down, pay attention, and notice the beauty in everyday things. Through repetition, we return to the present moment, even when the world feels noisy or busy. Returning to simplicity does not mean ignoring problems or responsibilities. Instead, it means creating space for calm and balance in our lives. When we focus on small, repeated actions, we learn that happiness can be found in ordinary moments. The gentle rhythm of repetition helps us see what truly matters and lets us find peace even in the middle of a busy day. In this way, repetition acts as a gentle teacher, showing us how to return to simplicity. By welcoming simple routines into our daily lives, we give ourselves a chance to breathe, to rest, and to discover the quiet joys that are always close by. Repetition, when used with care and understanding, can become a powerful source of strength in our lives. It is more than just a way to bring comfort or simplicity. It can help us build resilience and confidence. Each time we repeat a positive action, thought, or routine, we are training both our minds and bodies to become stronger and more stable. Think about someone learning a new skill. such as playing an instrument or cooking a favorite dish. At first, the movements may feel awkward or slow, but with each repeated attempt, the hands become more skillful and the mind gains confidence. In this way, repetition helps us grow and achieve things we never thought possible. The same is true for building strength in our daily lives. When we face challenges, returning to familiar routines or encouraging words can help us stand firm even in difficult times. Repetition also teaches us patience. Growth and healing do not happen overnight. By doing the same gentle action each day, we learn to trust the process and ourselves. Over time, we see the small changes that come from steady effort. This quiet progress is a sign of true strength. When we make repetition part of our daily life, it becomes a steady friend. It is there when we need support, and it helps us keep moving forward, step by step. Even in times of struggle or doubt, repeated actions remind us that we can find stability and strength within ourselves. In the end, repetition is a simple but powerful way to build inner strength. By choosing our routines and words carefully and returning to them with intention, we give ourselves the gift of resilience and steady growth throughout our lives. As we have seen, repetition is a quiet, gentle force that can bring comfort, healing, and strength into our lives. Whether through simple daily routines, repeated words, or gentle movements, repetition creates a steady rhythm that supports us through change and challenge. It connects us with our own hearts, with each other, and with the wisdom of generations before us. Even in the most complicated or uncertain times, these small, repeated actions remind us of the beauty and peace that can be found in ordinary moments. In every culture, people have discovered the healing power of doing something with care again and again. These actions, no matter how small, help us build patience and trust in ourselves. They allow us to let go of worry for a little while and return to a place of calm and balance. Over time, repetition becomes not only a source of comfort, but also a foundation for hope and resilience. As you continue your own journey, I hope you may find gentle strength in the repeated rhythms of your daily life. May simple actions, familiar routines, or kind words bring you peace and stability wherever you are. The quiet power of repetition is always there, waiting to support and guide you step by step. Finally, I would like to sincerely thank all of you who have watched this video. Your support, whether through your thoughtful comments, likes, subscribing to the channel, sending super thanks, or joining as a member, means a great deal to me. Each gesture of kindness and encouragement is truly appreciated, and it gives me the energy to continue sharing these teachings with you. May the healing nature of repetition bring comfort and peace to your days.